won't, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. Didn't know that it's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show. Don't say I ain't never put you on, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. Don't say I ain't never put you on, cause you didn't know that. It's the Shabach show. You know how it goes. If you don't know, now you're gonna know, cause you tune in to the only Shabach show. It's what you came from. Education and entertainment all just for you. It's the Shabach show. Why you stuck on 25? We reporting live from the fofo just to let you know that it's the Shabach show. It's the Shabach show.
Y'all couldn't hear me. Oh my god. So what? For a good whole minute, y'all could not hear me. Dang. See, this is why I be needing a producer. So I have the mic muted before in that little intro part, so y'all can't hear me still getting myself together. That's crazy. Well, let's start over. What's up, people? Welcome to the D Shabach Show. It's your man D Shabach from the 404, and I feel good. I'm glad that it is Friday. TGI freaking F. It is Friday. Payday. Yes, payday. I had to kind of recenter myself. I was talking to this young lady, and the conversation initially was cool, but then there was just certain little things that just I was like, and so that those things then it became a thing, and so I guess I can go into a little bit. So whereas initially was having a conversation, and then I like to text throughout the day, right? Send a voice memo, text, whatever, text throughout the day. So she felt like she didn't have my undivided attention. I was like, why do you say that? So then she was like, well, yeah, I mean, because of how you was texting. Then when I sent a message, you only said like one thing about it or whatever. And I was like, no, I didn't. So as we're talking, the other message that I sent came through. She listened to the message and she was still like, yeah, but you could have said more. And I'm like, so because I could have said more is why you decided to stop responding? And so then it went from, then she was like, yeah, I can be critical. And I was like, hold on, what you mean you could be critical? I'm like, we all could be critical, but I've never heard someone lead with the fact that they could be critical. So we spent about almost 2 hours of trying to get an understanding from her and everything. And I was like, it was just a bunch of different little things. I was like, I don't think we're going to vibe. I don't think this is going to be it. And it's fine. I was a little perturbed because she was cute and everything. And I'm like, man, why does it feel like it's always something? Why does it feel like there's always got to be the gotcha moment, or as I call it, the shoe dropping, right? You're always waiting for the shoe to drop. And I'm like, So it was a little irritating. But one of the things I recognize is when you are connecting, whether it's people from a platonic friendship level or you're connecting with people romantically, when it's naturally smooth, that is when it's good. Oftentimes is when there's issues, it's not natural, it's not smooth. That is a red flag that, hey, this is going to be an issue going forward in the future. So you probably just want to go ahead and wrap it up. Or sometimes you have to just compartmentalize people. And I was trying to do that with her. But, you know, sometimes you just, some people, it's just not the best, especially more specifically when both parties feel the same way, you know? So I was a little disappointed that connection is no longer. And I was like, but it saves you time in the long run, because there's just certain things that I have a pet peeve about, where I'm like, I cannot tolerate you being late. I can't tolerate lack of planning. And I can't tolerate people who, so she was saying like she was critical. I'm like, well, I've been around people like that, men and women. And I'm like, it's very irritating being around people who are very critical of you and how you are and scrutinizing you. So yeah, you know. But here's a good question. Would y'all date someone who does not have a car? There's a difference in between dating someone who got into an accident, so they're in the process of looking for a car, or their car is currently in the shop and is being worked on, versus someone who does not have a car. Would you date someone who does not have a car and really does not have plans to get a car anytime soon? I know most of y'all women will be like, no. But I've realized it's a double standard, because if a woman doesn't have a car, then it's like, oh, it's no problem. Like, no, that is a problem, at least for me. For other guys, it's not. And for me, that is definitely a problem. I need you to have your own car. I need you to have your own means of transportation. So, you know, I don't have to be your Uber driver. Like, because it could, yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the topic of the day. Topic of the day is, how are men supposed to be leaders? How are men supposed to be leaders? So I saw this video, Kier Gaines. He's a therapist and a content creator. Wonderful guy. He talks about therapy, and how it can productively and practically be applied to our everyday lives. And he talks a lot about it from a black perspective, a black man's perspective, a black father perspective, a black husband perspective, you know? So let's take a look at what he says in this. I'm going to refresh it because I feel like he already started a little bit. Let's see.
Much discourse about men and leadership. Let's talk about it. I don't think as a man, leadership is a birthright. I think leadership is a skill that you develop over time and through situations. I don't know if you can be a successful leader if you haven't practiced failing at that thing over and over again. Figure out a way to course correct, adapt, and overcome. And I see how often we conflate leadership and dominance. They're not the same thing. Dominance is the manifestation of self-interest. Dominance is obsessed with the idea of projecting strength. It has to be the alpha. It needs something to feel bigger and better than. Leadership is more so about guidance. Because with leadership, the trophy ain't in the accolades or the validation. The trophy's in the successful outcomes. I look at leadership the same way I look at strength. When you're really strong, you don't have to project strength. You don't have to announce it. Everybody know. They know when you walk in the room. True leadership isn't intimidated by another leader. Am I a leader in my household? Absolutely. Is my wife a leader in our household? Absolutely. Her leadership inspires me, man. That's why I married her. A true leader doesn't want to rule over people. A true leader wants to develop true leaders. A true leader wants to be surrounded by true leaders. How you going to lead if you're so afraid to fail if you don't admit your own mistakes and shortcomings?
That's a good part right there. How are you going to lead when you're afraid to fail and show your mistakes and shortcomings? So a lot of these things that we see in people, it first starts in the household, right? A lot of people were raised by toxic parents, and those parents won't admit it because they have a different view on what toxic is, and their parents have a different view on what toxic is. So for me, it gets very frustrating when you hear parents talk, and I'm like, your parents thought that you were crazy and their parents thought that they were crazy. I'm like, at some point we have to realize I'm not right. Because what happens is we blindly walk into life thinking that we are right, thinking that our experiences, our perspectives is the only right way. Whereas it is very difficult for human beings, and especially grown up human beings, to accept that their child may be right, to accept that they may have failed their child in a situation, they may have hurt their child, they may have did something unintentionally that they didn't realize was going to cause trauma. So it starts off first in the household. Did you have parents who raised you upon the premise of I'm the adult so I'm always right, or hey, you may be right sometimes, there's a respectful way to acknowledge that I may be right sometimes and I have to respectfully tell you that. This leadership does flow into friendships, and I'm like talking about the progression of when someone is getting older. So then amongst your friend group, right? Maybe you're in high school, middle school, whatever it is. How do you treat your friends? Do you feel like, well, I'm the boss, or I know better, or I do this? I was one of those kids, right? I felt like I knew better. I felt like my parents raised me a certain type of way. So I was like, all right, cool. This is what I'm going to do, da-da-da-da-da. When in reality, I didn't know anything. I'm only 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know anything. So a good leader is able to evaluate his friends and be like, hey, we're all right and we're all wrong. That's what makes us human. Then it goes into relationships, right? When you're dating, right? And I feel like this is both for men and women, but it's mainly men who have to take on the leadership role, right? A lot of men, like he said, thinks that leadership is dominance. Well, this is what I want. This is what it's supposed to be. No. You have an equal say-so in this partnership, in this relationship, right? That's why I really don't like the idea that women be like, oh, I should be able to turn my brain off when I'm around you. No. I want your opinion. I want your perspective. I want your voice. Leadership is not supposed to look like me controlling you, but guiding us in environments or in a way that is going to be most productive and most healthy and most peaceful for everybody involved.
That's not leadership. That's well-dressed fear. Gotta call a spade, man. It's not about basking in the satisfaction of being an apex predator. It's making sure that when you go hunt, that the whole pack eats. My leadership philosophy ain't, hey, I need that big piece of chicken right there. My leadership philosophy is, hey, did everybody eat? Is everybody good? Let me get a plate then.
And that right there, a lot of people are blind to their own leadership toxicity, right? Um, People would think, no, I'm kind, I'm considerate because I think about this and I do that. And I'm like, that's great. But then you have these other areas that you are blind to, that this is the issues that people be having with you. Not with that. People think that you're kind and nice and sweet in these areas, but in this area, you have an issue, right? And so I have been having to learn this, take in the feedback that people have given me over the years, going to therapy, deconstructing a lot of these things, because you realize in reality, there are things that you think you're doing good, but it's coming across bad to other people. Now, this is where that's grace. This is where I have an issue with giving grace to willful ignorance, or you are just wanting to continue in your toxicity because you think that you're right. Right? So if you try to tell someone, hey, I don't like those shady comments that you made. Hey, I didn't like when you spoke to me like that. Hey, I didn't like when you did this. And they're just like, well, suck it up, or it is what it is. See, now we have an issue, because why can't I express to you, I would like for you to just slightly shift how you address me, how you are around me, what you do. Why do you have to take it so personally? Right? Now that is when it becomes toxic. Well, I'm the man. I'm the parent. I'm the leader. I'm the boss. No. Because now it just seems like you are only doing this to control people and to do what you want. It is your show. It's your way or the highway now.
Make sure the babies, the women, and the elderly people eat. The best leaders aren't the ones that can do everything. The best leaders are the ones that know how to delegate. I'm not good.
The best leaders are not the ones who can do everything, but they know how to delegate. Now, this has been something that I've personally struggled with, because I learned early on, people mean well when they're trying to help you, but either they don't know how to help you or they really don't want to help you. They're just being nice. So I would hate when I ask someone, hey, can you help me out with this project? And they may be like, yeah. And at first it's good, and then they start slacking off. Now I'm trying to hold them to a standard. And then now we start getting into the thing, well, Shabach, I was just trying to help with this thing. I'm like, what? You could have said that from the beginning. You didn't have to pretend like you would, And so I struggle with asking people for help, because I realize if I'm not paying people, or if people don't have the exact same idea or the exact same vision that I have, people just don't tend to care. People are just always going to do what they want to do, right? So what I realize is sometimes asking for help looks temporarily, right? It looks like, hey, can you just help me with this thing real quick? Sometimes asking for help is expecting that they may not, that they will fall through, right? That they won't do what you asked them to do, but at least you tried, right?
Look at this thing right here.
Also, with the delegation, it's understanding your own weakness. And that is a pet peeve of mine. Parents, relationship-wise, friendships, right? Companies. I have a pet peeve for those who cannot see their own weaknesses, and they think that they are right in everything. So for me, I'm a digital media specialist. That is my specialty: digital media, photography, videography, editing, certain softwares, right? DJing, music. Well, digital music. That is my specialty. So what I do not like is when someone who, this is not their specialty, this is not what they've learned, this is not their area of experience, they then try to tell me what it's supposed to be. There's a difference in between trying to give someone constructive criticism, but when like, nah, it should be like this. Or I'm trying to help you out on your project. You call me because I'm the expert, but you think you know better. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to tell you, you should do your website like this. You should do the social media like this. You should film it like this. You should do that. And they just think they know everything. You got to be able to release and learn how to delegate. Be like, hey, Shabach, I know that you are the expert in this particular field. I want you to handle this project or this thing.
But you are. Can you help me do this? And you help me do that? And I'll bring my genius to the table. We'll collaborate and make something dope happen. That's leadership. See, so much discourse about
I'm going to replay it because there's some parts I missed at the beginning.
men and leadership. Let's talk about it. I don't think as a man, leadership is a birthright. I think leadership is a skill that you develop over time and through situation.
So as a man, leadership is not a birthright. It's something that you develop over time. That is something that a lot of men don't teach other men or other young men. Excuse me. They will say that you're a man, so you're just automatically supposed to be a leader. No, 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 no. You become a leader, right? There are certain groups and organizations who say we develop leaders, right? I can't make you a leader, but I can develop it, right? And a lot of people don't understand the foundations on what it means to be a leader. They think just because I'm a male and I have a certain genitalia that I'm a leader. No, 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 brother. You gotta learn how to navigate people, right? That does not just automatically come. I'm the man, so you're supposed to know. What is your experience? What's your resume look like, right? What have you been through? What is your wisdom so I can trust you? And this is where a lot of men don't realize it would be easier for women to submit if you were a better leader, right? Sometimes, because this is not all the time, but sometimes a woman can't submit to you because she can't trust you. She can't trust that you're going to do the right thing. She can't trust that you're going to handle the finances well, that you're going to lead her in a good position, that you're going to handle the family well. So are you showing that you are a trustworthy person when it comes to leadership?
I don't know if you can be a successful leader if you haven't practiced failing at that thing over and over again. Figure out a way to course correct, adapt, and overcome.
Some people have an issue with failing in front of people, right? I know some of these people personally. They it's a real insecurity that they're like, I don't want to show my weakness in front of people. And I'm like, people in general, sure. But the people who are supposed to be close to you, that's fine. How are you not comfortable with showing your weakness in front of your husband or your wife or your kids or your maybe even your parents? I understand you want to present yourself to be the strong, masculine of a person, but the reality is you think you're covering it up. Everybody else is able to see your shortcomings. Everybody else is able to see the weakness. And you think you look good with it. You look crazy, right? You think, oh, I'm handling it. Oh, I'm better. No, you're bitter. Oh, I'm healed. No, you are not, right? And a lot of times I've seen it in my family and friends where I'm like, you are wearing all of the hurts, all of the emotions on you. And if you would just be willing to show us your weakness, right? Willing to be transparent, we could be more understanding. And then the crazy part about it is they feel the same way about other people. Ah, yeah, she ain't healthy. He ain't healthy. What about you? And so you have to, it really is about humility. You have to be humble enough to fail in front of people.
And I see how often we conflate leadership and dominance. They're not the same thing. Dominance is the manifestation of self-interest. Dominance is obsessed with the idea of projecting strength. It has to be the alpha. It needs something to feel bigger and better than.
And I've recognized a lot of men have that, right? They just want to dominate. And really it goes to a selfish characteristic, right? That, well, I'm the man. I chose the wife. I made her have kids. I'm the one who's paying for this. So this should be about what I want. Not taking into consideration what their wife wants or a girlfriend. Not taking into consideration what their kids want. Not taking into consideration what other people around them may want or even need, right? And this is one of the issues when you're leading from a dominant perspective instead of understanding how to lead for the people that you have. Think about it like this. A lot of teachers who have different periods, right? They may teach the same subject, history, but every class, every period is going to be different. So they have a class full of brainiacs or very smart. They really grasp the information. Then they have another class that they have to be a little bit more creative with how they present the information to them. And then there may be another class that she has to take her time with explaining to the kids because maybe they have slow processing speed or they're not able to comprehend it as good as the others. But if that teacher teaches all three classes the same way, only one class is going to succeed. Or if she comes into the school trying to teach all of these different classes the way that she knows, all the classes can fail because she's not adjusting to how each of her periods learned, right? It's the same way for men. You will find better responses, and this is a human thing as well. You will find better responses if you learn how to lead based upon the people that are there. And I am figuring this out. That's why I'm like, certain things I want to lead in a certain things I want to do in a leadership position, and other things I kind of want to just be the one that's helping, because you realize your strength, your weaknesses. What do you have the patience and tolerance for, right? Some of y'all do not have the patience and tolerance to have kids. I'm just being honest. You don't need to have kids because you're going to be, CPS is about to be called on you because you just ready to fight your child, right? And then some of y'all have patience for little babies. Oh my gosh, so cute. But by the time they become toddlers and walking around and creating their own personality, no patience. Maybe you got patience for the little kid and the little toddler, but then when they become teenagers, now you ready to square up, right? You got to understand how to lead, and I see a lot of parents struggle with this, right? Well, you can't talk, Shabach. You're not a parent. I can only talk from the place of being a child, B, the place of other kids, right, talking about this, and C, or 3, the place that once these children became adults, they're speaking from their traumas that they've experienced in their childhood, right? Parents being the only ones that can talk is horrible because you got to listen to the other side. In fact, parents could be the only one that's talking if they take into consideration what it meant to be a child, what it meant to be a teenager, what it meant to be a young adult, you know? So you have to learn how to lead people based upon their specialties.
Leadership is more so about guidance. Because with leadership, the trophy ain't in the accolades or the validation. The trophy's in the successful outcomes.
Oh my gosh. Leadership is about guidance. There are mentors and even my parents who they be great in some areas, but in other areas, I'm like, you're just falling through, man. I need your guidance. I want your wisdom, but you got to learn how to give it. Whether how you convey it, how you tell me, or when you even tell me, right? Wait till I ask. Then when I ask, stop being overbearing, right? Now, since I ask, don't think that this is your permission to just, no. I need you to learn how to navigate me. What do I need? How do I need you to tell me, right? Because some people, they need soft love. Other people need hard love. Other people need it in between. You know, it's like making love. So my point is, we have to learn how to lead and guide people, not lead with dominance.
Look at leadership the same way I look at strength. When you're really strong, you don't have to project strength. You don't have to announce it. Everybody know. They know when you walk in the room.
And a lot of people I've seen from a personal experience, why is it they always a weird vibe? Why is something off? Because people are leading from insecurities, right? Like he said, when you're the strong man, when The Rock walks in the room, he doesn't have to say, hey guys, I'm strong. Everyone is able to see it. There's a certain level of dominance that he has when he walk in the room because he is strong. It's the guys or people who they don't feel strong. Even if they are strong, they don't feel it within. So they have to constantly tell people, I'm strong. And I've seen this with people who be like, I can't always say yes to everything because then you're going to think that this, that, the third. It's pride. It's ego. It's lack of humility. And a lot of men have learned toxic masculine traits that sounds good as a principle, but in practicality, in reality, it's horrible. Nobody likes it. Everyone feels like they have to walk on eggshells around you. No one likes it when you're having to do this or do that. And I have been deconstructing in a lot of this because I grew up in those type of environments, you know?
True leadership isn't intimidated by another leader. Am I a leader in my household? Absolutely. Is my wife a leader in our household? Absolutely. Her leadership inspires me, man.
And that's the last part before we move on to the next segment. I've seen even myself, but I'm an ambivert. I'm not an extrovert. So part of my tendencies is I love it when someone else is leading. I just like it when they're leading right. I don't like it when someone else is not leading right and then now become irritated. And that has been something I've been having to deconstruct and let go as well. Because there is no right or wrong way per se to leadership, right? But there is sometimes a right way. I'll be honest. There is sometimes a right way. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of people, they don't like when multiple leaders are in a room. I'm the one person. I'm the one that's in control. And men take that into relationships. I'm the man. I'm the one that get the final say. No. You should be the one who's trying to organize a productive conversation, right? Making sure that you keep emotions at bay, right? If anything, you are the leader who's trying to moderate the environment, curate an environment that everyone feels like they can speak up and that they have a voice in, not getting intimidated because your wife or your children have a different perspective. If your wife and kids wanted to go to Myrtle Beach for vacation instead of going to Daytona Beach, being a good leader is saying, okay, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna go to Myrtle Beach, but then next time we're gonna go to Daytona. Is that cool? Yeah, Daddy. Yeah. Okay. But let's take it to the funny. Let's get funny with it. Some of my funny videos, it's not comedy, but it's comedy.
All right, here we go. How to lose a girl quickly in 2026. Okay, pay close attention. 1, get her flowers. 2, be intentional, take her on dates. 3, ask the important questions early. Just ask those ones like, are you ready for something serious? Like, do you want to be a girlfriend? Do you want to be a wife? And here's another one. Oh, pay attention. They hate this one. Give them assurance. Tell her that she's the only girl that you're talking to and actually mean it. You actually mean that shit? Oh, you will lose her faster than ever, man.
Man. Obviously, he was being sarcastic, but he was being real. Listen, I know that there are a lot of great women out there, but there are a lot more bad women than there were before, right? And when I say bad women, women who handle this dating stuff not in the best way, right? So for me, I've run into the issues of some women being like, see, you talking about 50-50, you talking about this, you talking about that. And I'm like, well, first of all, I love doing things for my girlfriend. I love doing that. But I don't want a woman who's using me, right? So I bring you flowers. I'm assuming it's because I like you and you like me, not because I got to show you. I got to make you interested in me. And that was another thing that the girl I was talking to earlier, that she was like, yeah, I don't really be, like, I have to grow interest. I'm like, what? We met on a dating app. I'm assuming we matched because you was interested. Now you're saying you got to grow interest? What? So that's a whole nother thing. Either way. Then if you do all these chivalrous stuff for women, there's not a guarantee that she's going to be interested or that she wants you, right? And it really be feeling like what he's trying to express is the more you do that, the more it pushes a woman away. And I'm like, how? Isn't this what y'all wanted? Didn't y'all say y'all wanted a man who was more intentional in doing this and doing that? And the reality, what I realize is some women are becoming just like men. And it's okay, but just be honest with it. You're not looking for nothing serious. You're just looking for a hookup. Or you're looking for the best guy to take seriously, right? The guy who has the most money, who has the most this, the most that, right? Because I think I said it on my page. There's a young lady that I was talking to, and I'm like, oh man, I'm doing this, doing that. And then next thing I know, what I see on her story, she in the bathtub naked with rose petals and everything. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You being intimate with another, see, nah. So, I don't know. Someone said this doesn't make any sense. So, rage bait? It was a woman. Someone said, I wish all good people who want a valued, secure relationship to meet one another, and the ones who want toxic relationships to stay with each other. That's all we asking for. Oh my God. That's all we are asking for. But let's move on to arrogant church leaders. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know Marvin Sapp. Marvin Sapp, he is a Christian gospel artist. He saw the best in me when everyone else around. There's another song that he's popular for, but that's the biggest song. Let's just look.
Let me say this. Praise and worship team got to get better. Y'all ain't got to say amen. I sing for a living. Perfect peace. I know they ain't as good as they supposed to be. And I'm holding them accountable. Ain't I holding y'all accountable? Come here and sound like trash.
What?
I'm the pastor. I can say this.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Sit here. Now let me say this.
Let me say this. First of all, I want to be very clear. Marvin Sapp, he's a good singer. Every singer have their on and off days. That's number one. Number two, this is not about the quality of the singing, but it's about what I said. Arrogant church leaders. So Marvin Sapp is probably the second person that I remember seeing say something like this. Another person I've seen in person was Bishop William Murphy. So I used to go to Dream Center. I used to work at Dream Center. And there's no like bad blood per se. It's just you realize certain places and churches and communities that's just not the best for you. But one of the biggest issues that I had with Dream Center and William Murphy was his arrogance. So one Sunday he had said, and I'm the best worship leader there is. All right, brother. Okay, right? You know, I'm like, just because you have gotten, someone had said in the comments of that video, just because you've gotten awards and accolades does not mean that you are past judgment, I think is the phrase. But basically, you are not the best. You know who's the best? Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. But no, seriously, it was very off-putting when he had said it. It was another comment, and he's made a lot of comments like this throughout his service. And which leads me to the whole topic, which is he will also be critical, just like Marvin Sapp is doing. You're being critical of your praise and worship team in service in front of everybody. Horrible. Just what we were talking about with leadership earlier. Horrible leadership. We got to make this very clear. A lot of these church leaders get away with being bad leaders out of the name of Christianity, out of the name of God told them, out of the name of don't touch the anointed, which that's not even what the scripture is really referring to. You're just a bad leader. And people submit to you because they feel like they feel like you are the closest thing that they have to God, that they are supposed to submit to you if they want to submit to God. You need to be having the criticism, right? The constructive criticism behind the scenes. Marvin Sapp needs to be pulling up. William Murphy needs to be pulling up to rehearsals. If you got to call own rehearsal, your own special rehearsal to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And if there's a bad note, if something that happened well, you don't call people out in person. That's how you create a church hurt. Because why am I supposed to endure something that I wouldn't even take at work? Or I only take it at work because I need money? How are you going to disrespect me in front of everybody? In front of my kids, in front of my husband, in front of my wife, in front of my peers? How are you going to do that? Right? So, and William Murphy has a horrible habit of, y'all need to be in my key. I don't know what y'all doing. Y'all need to be in my key. And everyone's just kind of like awkwardly just kind of standing there. Okay. Should you kind of address like, hey, kid, I'm in A minor. You're in A flat. Like, should you do? That's fine. But when you are being arrogant with it and you're like, I'm the singer. I'm the praise word. I know what to do. Stop it. And this is not just in music, right? In the church. This is in every area of the church, right? When you have bad leaders who are not humble, who don't know how to lead with love, right? They lead with harshness. They put it in the name of being direct. Is being direct good? Yes. But being respectful with being direct is what is the combination. A lot of y'all are just mean and rude, right? And then you make people make videos like this about you, right? They're like, all right, well, let's clip up all the times you've been off key, right? Someone had said that because he's nominated award-winning gospel singer that he can talk about his choir. And I'm like, I agree. That is his experience. But you talk about them to them behind the scenes. Someone else said, I cringe when pastors feel the need to correct praise team, sound team, media team in public during the service, other than taking the time to teach them, instruct, and educate them in private. I think it's an unnecessary show of I'm the boss with unhealthy outcomes. Absolutely. That's what I was saying. Where I'm like, what are we doing here? Oh, like he said, I'm the boss. I'm the pastor. I'm the leader. A lot of narcissists become pastors and church leaders. And it's just like politicians, right? Again, I'm a pastor's kid. So I grew up being behind the scenes and seeing how a lot of these people operate. You know, like, I don't believe that it's healthy or productive to slander people that you don't really agree with. But I would say this. When I was behind the scenes at Dream Center, there was a lot of things that I saw that I was like, I'm good. So once a certain leader had left, I was like, that was my filter. And I can't deal with all this other stuff, right? And another church where I'm like, I kept going. There was another church where I was like, it's just something off about the pastor. And lo and behold, within a matter of, it was like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, just one thing after another kept coming out about him. And it all went to his lack of humility, the arrogance of thinking that I have all this experience, I know better. And it's what we saw with Lucifer, which is the irony of all of this. Right? I hope y'all get what I'm trying to say. Lucifer thought that he was the best praise leader. Lucifer thought, well, I'm so great, these angels and people need to be worshiping me, not God. That's what got Lucifer kicked out of heaven. So we should be acting in accord to what, and the opposite of that. Humility. I'm not the best. I don't know who I am. I'm just a humble old servant. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody. Change my life. And that's the heart posture a pastor is supposed to have. But most pastors are very cocky, arrogant, and borderline if they're not already narcissist. I blame those going back every week. Bro, yes, me too. Because I'm like, you're seeing the people who are being led, right? The people who are on the team, the people who are on the staff. Why are y'all taking this? And now, granted, half of the people are on payroll. So therefore, they're like, yeah, I guess I'll take this because the money, da 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 da. No, leave. I was a church musician for 21 years. I really, really despise it when pastors use their pulpit to insult and belittle the ones that work in their ministry, especially the music ministry. You can bring that type of correction in private. I don't care how famous you are or what you do for a living. The pulpit is the place to preach the gospel, not to be a bully. 100% agree. I would... Even my dad is guilty of this. There'll be times where if I am DJing or if I am doing the sound or I'm doing a video and it will be hurtful. I'm like, because this is coming from my own dad. He's like, I told you to have that thing together. Da, 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 da. I'm like, hey, chill, you know? And then, again, I don't want to talk bad about people. So there's this church that I was a part of, and the first lady did that to me. And I was like, it wasn't even my fault. I'm like, y'all are not on the same page. So then you yelling at me about something that wasn't even yelling, it was shady. DJ, didn't we say not to that? I'm like, and you gotta do this. You just gotta have a smiley, straight face. Act like nothing bother you, even though I want to knock you out. You know, because I'm like, it's just respect. I don't care who you are. I am walking in to automatically respect you. It's not even if you respect me, I'll respect you. No. I walk in automatically trying to respect you. Once I see that you're not on the same page, I got to earn your respect or that you just feel like I'm in no place to be respected. No, please. right? And we got to stand up for ourselves. That check is not worth it. There's certain people that I stopped working with or that I won't work with again because I'm like, it's horrible working with you. It's horrible. For y'all that don't read the Bible nor go to church, some of y'all look for the church stuff, but also be the same ones that need those church folks' prayers. The Bible said open rebuke is better than secret love. Oh, Jesus. we were about to finish this segment. So a lot of people take the Bible out of context, right? It's just like, don't touch the anointed, right? There's a scripture that says this. I have to do more research on it, but from what I was hearing is that no, that was specifically God saying that he anointed this particular person and that no one else will be able to touch them because he's called this person. You know, it's kind of like the whole God put a blessing on that person that no one else is able to hurt them type thing. And it's the same for this. Yeah, is open rebuke better than secret love? Sure. But that's out of context, right? You are supposed to love the person so much that you don't openly rebuke them, especially when you have the ability to. Jesus. Let's move on. Because I could go on for days, bro. I can go on for days. All right, let's go on to trending topics. So we got racism in Atlanta and J. Cole talking about Drake and Kendrick. So let's see the racism in Atlanta.
What the fuck I do to you? What are you gonna do? You gonna threaten me? And I look like a black man? Hey, you need to fucking go. You need to go. Now, bye. Bye. You need to go. Bye. Bye. Fucking niggers. Yeah, you heard me say it. Who's targeting who? A fucking nigger.
We have children out here. No. We're not gonna have that. Get in your car. Go
Fucking
home.
black shit.
No. We don't live together.
What the fuck I do to you?
Yeah, so this was posted on Atlanta Uncensored, but this was in Gwinnett. So, I mean, technically Atlanta, technically not, but it says same guy again. Oh, okay, there's another video. Oh, we gotta play it. Hold on. It said same guy because I saw it. I was like, hold on, wait, what?
Fucker.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. You want to do it now? Yeah. Take a shot, motherfucker.
Hey, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm a fucking citizen, you fat shithead. You're a nigger. I said it.
no.
You're a fucking nigger.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you good.
Okay. What are you gonna do? It's free speech. You fat, ugly shithead.
Sorry.
Bring it on. Fucking bring it on. Fucker.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna kick.
Jesus Christ. I wish. Man, I'm going to say it. Somebody needs to roll up on him and just beat him up. I'm sorry. You know, we speak nonviolence all the time, but sometimes you got to just, don't kill him. Don't put him in the hospital. Just give him the 1-2 punch. Give him a little knuckle sandwich real quick. My God. See, this is the thing, right? When dealing with people. First of all, you never know who you're dealing with. It doesn't matter where you're at. It could be here in Georgia. It could be in Texas. It could be wherever, right? You can find some great loving people, and then you'll find some bad people. Speaking of, I got time today. I'm going to look this up. Hold on. Speaking of racism. So what pissed me off, there is this guy who's running for governor here in Atlanta. And I may have to show y'all next time because this thing is going so slow. Let's see. Governor. Did I spell that right? No, N-O-R. Race, Georgia, G-E. Listen, I got dyslexia, so be gracious. I know I spelled that all horrible. Hold on. Okay, Rick Jackson. All right, Rick Jackson. For those of y'all who are in Atlanta, you probably already know what I'm talking about. But for those of y'all who are not, here's this the thing.
The first time he got behind the wheel, he drove his mom home after she passed out drunk in their car at a stoplight.
All right, this is the
Abandoned,
commercial.
abused, hungry
Let's see.
to deliver the results that the
Hold on. Okay, maybe this is it.
I don't care if you're Muslim or Mongolian. You don't have the right to force your culture on our country.
Conservative Rick Jackson.
Too often, criminal illegals commit sick, violent crimes, victimize our children, and get away with murder. So here's my guarantee to them.
What did he say?
You don't have the right to force your Muslim or Mongolian. You don't have the right to force your culture on our country.
I saw this on TV. I didn't see this on the internet. I didn't see that on TikTok. I saw that on local TV commercial. I'm just walking from upstairs down to my kitchen, and I hear, "We don't want you." What? This is where we at now? This is the state of America? Because it's like, there gets a point, right? Obviously, I'm not going to vote for this man. But if y'all choose to vote for this man to be governor, I there is no, like, you, at least people were trying to hide some of their racism with Trump. No, it's not racism. It's not white supremacy. We just want, you can't, this is racism. What are you talking about? This is clear as day. We don't have to, what? But if y'all vote for him, that's on y'all. Because I don't understand even y'all racist people. You have benefited so much from liberal policies and liberal perspectives. Trump is showing y'all that when the conservative hops into office, he's going to take away a lot of the things that you benefit from, right? Modern conservatives are very liberal compared to 1900s, right? Early 1900s type thing, right? Your grandfather or your parents probably like, right? I just really wish we understood this, man. But let's move on to the next topic. So J. Cole talking about, in an interview, talking about Drake and Kendrick.
It's the type of stuff that, like, I think about.
I mean, is that still on your mind now with the fall off? Like, out this big three? It's like you've had your relationships with Kendrick and Drake stretch back years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is it's like with you guys now.
I mean, first of all, those is dudes that I admire. These dudes. I got genuine love for these dudes. Like, I hate to see the world on either one of them in defense of the other. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, that is, even saying it out loud is a little silly.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm glad you made the decision that was right for you.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? That, like, you feel good and you could sleep well at night.
It's the type of stuff that, like, I think about.
So is there another
catalog and his greatness? I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers that ever touched a Dreamville? Y'all love Kendrick Lamar.
So this apology was from back in the day, a few months ago, when he had apologized for his diss record on on Might Delete Later or something. I forgot the name of it was like a mixtape. But I respect J. Cole. I think that J. Cole sits in the middle of Kendrick and Drake. I think J. Cole is literally the antithesis of J. Cole and Drake. I mean, of Kendrick and Drake. Here's why. First of all, J. Cole is biracial, right? Kendrick Lamar is full black. So both parents being black, right? So Kendrick is going to have a perspective from a fully black perspective, right? Also, Kendrick was raised in Compton, right? He was raised around certain affiliations. I know some people say he is affiliated. I don't think he is affiliated, but he was raised around certain environments that is very, very, very black, stereotypes and etc. in that environment fostered him to be someone who is intellectual, someone who cares about his craft, his writings, and the message that he's putting out into the world. J. Cole is the same thing, but J. Cole didn't grow up in such a rough environment as Kendrick, and he has a white mother. So therefore, some of his perspectives are not going to be the same as Kendrick's. Drake, again, another biracial person, but Drake leans into the other side, right? I'm biracial, but I can play both sides, right? Turn up with the white kids and turn up with the black kids. I try to fit in, right? That's really what a lot of Kendrick's critique was towards towards Drake. So then Kendrick's critique towards J. Cole was, you're co-signing this, right? Everyone considered us to be on the same level, but how can you co-sign someone who is doing this, that, and the third? And you got to remember, Kendrick and Drake beef goes back years ago, right? Where Kendrick didn't like certain things or certain ways that Drake was moving. So Kendrick is bringing J. Cole into question, like, hey, you roll with his? So that's why from the initial diss track with Metro Booming, Future, and Kendrick, right? F the big three, it's just big me, you know? Because he was calling out calling out J. Cole for certain things. I know I'm getting these names twisted. Hopefully you're following me. J. Cole falls right in the middle, right? He falls right in the middle of pop, but conscious, right? Drake leans all the way to just pop. Kendrick leans all the way to conscious. And I think that J. Cole's perspective is just going to be J. Cole's perspective. Like, that is who he is. He's being true to himself, which is he's in the middle. He just wants peace. He just wants everyone to love each other. So, I get it. But sometimes you wish that your idols would take a more concrete stand on certain things. See what some of the comments says. Drake was carrying hip-hop on his back, giving features, changing people's lives, but people choose to focus on the negative. J. Cole is who y'all think Kendrick is. J. Cole been running the fake, deep, humble, anti-mainstream gimmick for decades. Music industry can create unnecessary problems. He's just not into being in the middle. Ain't stuff wrong with that. And that's what I'm saying. That's kind of his personality. Kendrick Rock Nation puppet. Okay, don't get that one. All parties have let it go. Dot clearly moved on. Drake has moved on. Cole has also moved on. Peace to those brothers. Yeah. I think though what a lot of people don't realize was Kendrick had did something that was bigger than just a diss track. It was bigger than just his name. He did something that was for the culture. So just like the other person said that Drake was carrying hip-hop on his back, then you don't understand the culture of hip-hop, and you don't understand what that means to us black people. Because before this whole beef, people have been talking about their issues that they've had with Drake, and that he's pop rap and how he does. It's just that Kendrick was willing to make a whole thing about it, But let's take it to the inspiration.
Please remember that your life is also meant to be enjoyed. Somewhere along the way, we started acting like life is just this waiting room for the next level, the next achievement, the next promotion, the next version of ourselves. We convince ourselves that once we get there, then we'll relax, then we'll breathe, then we will enjoy it. But there always is a next. The grind set mentality can be powerful. Discipline is powerful. Ambition is powerful. There's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself, but if you are always chasing, optimizing, pushing, and never pausing, you will sprint past your own life. You'll miss the random Tuesday nights, the dumb laughs, the small wins, the quiet mornings, the moments that don't look impressive but feel meaningful. And those are the moments that actually make up your life. Success is great, growth is great, but not at the cost of presence, not at the cost of joy, not at the cost of experiencing the very thing that you are working so hard to build. You're allowed to work hard and enjoy yourself. You are allowed to have goals and still rest. You are allowed to want more and still appreciate now. If your entire existence is preparation for some future moment, you'll wake up one day and realize you never let yourself live in the current one. The goal isn't to escape your life. The goal is to experience it. So chase your dreams, build your future, lock in when you need to, but don't forget to look around. Because this part, right now, is also your life.
So facts.
A lot of
So facts. So facts. So, that has been something that I've been struggling with for the past 10 years. The balance of trying to create a life that you want to have, but then also understanding that, hey, life is about living in the moment. I used to want to only spend my money on buying equipment, right? Cameras and gear and technology. And I was like, what's the point of spending money on going out? What's the point of spending money to go on vacation when we need to be grinding, need to be working and building a legacy? Until I realized when I did go out, when I did go on vacations, and I was like, I remember this is fun. I barely remember why I got that gear. I barely remember why I bought this. And I realized I had to start being more intentional about putting my money towards fun, happy moments. But the same goes for your time. And in fact, you can always get your money back, but you can't get your time back. I'm 25, going on 26 in less than 2 months. Well, April 1st would be 2 months. I'll be 26, and I'm realizing that time I can't get back. Breakup hurts so much because you're like, you invested so many years into this, and now it doesn't matter, right? It hurts when you realize I spent so much time hustling and trying to make something happen, trying to work and trying to make money, that I didn't enjoy the money. I didn't enjoy life. I didn't enjoy my friends. I didn't go out with them. I didn't hang out. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. And I'm honestly trying to take that approach when it comes to dating. I'm trying not to look for a wife and let the wife just naturally develop. Because me going to look for a wife is going to cancel out so many experiences, so many happy moments. Even if I'm going on a date with a young lady that I realize we are just not compatible, but can we still have fun? Life is not supposed to be about the serious. You have to do some serious things to have the life. Right? So many people are trying to hustle in their 20s and 30s, so therefore, or even 40s. So therefore, by the time that they're in their 50s or 60s or 70s, then now they can enjoy. When I'm like, if you create a balanced life, you can enjoy and work at the same time. Work hard, play hard, right? It literally, if you got 24 hours in a day, split it up. 12 hours for work, 12 hours for fun. But you realistically can't do that because you got to spend 8 hours sleeping. So then the remaining hours that you do have, I'm not good at on the spot math, but the remaining hours that you do have, split that time up, a little time for work and a little time for play. You got to relax. Everyone has been telling me this for years, and I am trying to accept it. And I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at the reflection in the camera right now. I have to learn to relax. I have to learn to enjoy. I have to learn to go outside, enjoy the fresh air. I have to learn to hit up friends and say, let's go out, let's do something, let's enjoy living life. So hopefully you learn to live life as I am trying to, and it's not easy, right? Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people who are lazy, a lot of people who are not ambitious, a lot of people who are not hungry. But when you're hungry, that does not mean you have to eat everything. You don't need a buffet when you're hungry. Oftentimes, you just need a good plate to fill you up. So stop thinking that you need the buffet before you can eat. Enjoy life, man. And let's have fun, guys. So that is the end of this episode. As we come to a close, as we come to a wrap, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the D Shabach Show. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe. My bad, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. I knew I was gonna do that. I have like these little hot cues on my keyboard, and so if I click the wrong thing, then it just messes up. But make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Okay. And if you want to hop on the stream, let a brother know. I'll talk to y'all later.